For the third year and counting, Richard Skipper has been celebrating the artists you love.
And what are some of the things that you've really run out of time? And we've got to talk about your latest. I want to go back a little bit, first of all, and celebrate a true legend.
Richard Skipper is all about celebrating life, art, and his guest body of work.
And did you pursue performing opportunities while you were in high school?
Please join us while he showcases these diverse and talented individuals. Here's Richard Skipper.
Happy Friday the 13th, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Richard Skipper Celebrates. Who or what are you celebrating today? Well, I want to tell you my Friday the 13th story, and it involves Betsy Palmer, who is the mother of Jason in the movie version of Friday the 13th. Years ago, I was working on a project, which I hope to get back to someday, celebrating all the women who have played Dolly Levi. And her daughter, Melissa, found out that I was working on this project. And she reached out to me and she says, why haven't you written about my mom, who also played Dolly, not only at the Paper Mill Playhouse, but at various other summer stock theaters? So I said, I would love to interview her. So I reached out to, a friend of mine told me that she was in the early stages of dementia. And it was not, she didn't know whether or not she would be able to remember anything. But in any case, Melissa, her daughter, said that she would set up this interview and that I would go and meet her. So we set up a Sunday afternoon that I would go to her apartment in Stamford, Connecticut to meet with her. And so everything was all set up. And so my husband, Danny, and I got in the car and we were on our way and we stopped to get some water. And while he was in the store, I decided to give her a call. And when I called Betsy, I said, hi, Betsy, this is Richard Skipper, and I'm on my way to do the interview. And she says, well, that's all nice, but I don't know anything about this. And of course, a red flag went up, and I got very, very nervous about doing this interview. And I said, Betsy, I'm so sorry. If you don't know anything about the interview, we could schedule this for some other time. She says, no. If you are planning on coming up here, why don't you come on up and we'll do this. But I swear, I don't know anything about this. So with a lot of trepidation, we continued on our trip to Stamford, Connecticut. So we get to her apartment and she couldn't have been nicer. We went in and we sat down and she said, I have to begin by saying that my brain is completely fried. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. I don't remember yesterday. I don't remember anything. And I said, Betsy, let's just sit down. I've got my tape recorder. We'll sit down and we'll have a great conversation. I'll begin to record this. And if you remember anything, great. And if you don't, at least we had a great afternoon. And she said, that's perfectly fine with me. So we sat down, I turned the recorder on, and I began to ask her questions, and the floodgates opened. She remembered everything perfectly and vividly. She remembered details. She remembered presents that David Merritt gave her. She remembered everything. And we finished the interview. We must have gone on for about an hour and a half. And then Melissa came running in and she said, oh my God, I forgot to tell my mom that you were coming today. So it wasn't Betsy that forgot after all. It was her daughter, Melissa, that forgot to tell me. We had the most incredible afternoon. And by the way, if you Google Call on Dolly, Betsy Palmer, you will see that blog that I wrote with these incredible photographs of Danny and myself and our wonderful afternoon with Betsy Palmer. The next day, after I published the blog, her manager called me of many years. I think he had been a manager for 50 years, called me and wanted to know where I got access to this article, because he said there was no way that she could have done this interview the day before, because he had not been able to get an interview out of her for several years. And that is my tribute to Betsy Palmer, Friday the 13th. So today, we are going to be celebrating 4 incredible friends These are people that matter a lot to me. They are waiting in the wings. And just like, let's make a deal. I am going to go and I'm going to see who's waiting here to watch the show today. And we've got some people that matter a lot to me. Lisa Rodrigo is here, Pam Stubbs. And Lisa, since you were the first one in the lineup, you get to pick a number 1 through 4, and you will decide who will come on first. And we are going to talk about superstitions. Today also happens to be National Apple Pie Day. I know for a fact that one of our guests on the show also happens to be an incredible cookie maker. Perhaps we can decide whether or not she makes great apple pies as well. We'll talk about that. And we'll find out if all of our guests share in superstitions. I'm a very superstitious person. So Lisa is going to pick number 3, and that is Glen Charlow. Now, Glen Charlow, those of you, I have to explain to you, Glen is probably, out of everyone here, my oldest and my dearest friend. And Glen designs all of the overlays, which is what we call the graphic designs that you see at the beginning of the shows. Glen, God bless him, because sometimes at the last minute, we at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, somebody calls us and we're on a deadline, and I will call him, and out of his stupor, and I don't mean a drunken stupor, I mean he's asleep, he rolls out of bed and he puts these things together, and and he's there putting these things together, and he's here today. So Glen, first of all,
hello.
Happy Friday the 13th to you.
Oh, happy day, yes.
Yeah. Do you have any superstitions? Let's start there.
You know what? Not for a long time. I haven't had any superstitions. There's always that black cat theory. I have a gray one, but I don't count that.
Mm-hmm.
Superstitions. Not really. I haven't really thought about that in a long time.
Okay. Well, as I also mentioned, it's National Apple Pie Day.
Oh, I love apple pie.
Well, and Danny makes the best apple pie. His apple pie is absolutely incredible. And so
I happen to have sent the message to my friend David, who is a chef, and he makes the best apple pie that I've ever eaten.
Well, send him the link to today's you've got the private link to get him on. See if he'll come on and tell us what his secret is to making the perfect apple pie, and maybe we'll get him on during the show. So I'm going to pull up our secret question of the day, and the question is, who in your life inspires you to be better?
Who in my life inspires me to be better? You do, Richard.
Oh.
Well, gosh,
I knew you were going to say that. But
we've known each other for umpteen, God knows how long. And if there isn't anybody else in my life, well, besides Michael, and I know he's watching too. Hi, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
But you send me every day. You send me like a thing of the day, whatever kind of day it may be. You send me these feelings of like whatever the day may bring you, and I read those and I'm like, that's kind of cool. And a few of the days, if I'm not like going nutsy crazy with everything else that I have to do, I think about it very often throughout the day, and it's like, gosh, it just brings a happier day. It makes things easier. It makes things nicer when you're dealing with people. A lot of your little sayings that you put through just bring that on. That just bring that energy. You energize I don't know, you radiate a great energy whenever even when you write your little doodads and things to me, and it makes a big difference.
Well, thanks. That means a lot. Well, the word for today is perseverance. What does perseverance mean to you?
Gosh golly. Just, I guess, literally what it means, stick to it. When you put your mind to something, do it, go for it. Even if you think it's a risk, go for it and hope that all turns out well.
Well, and you know that I keep going, I keep going, I keep
Oh
going.
yeah.
Well,
Like the Energizer Bunny.
well, you get to pick our next guest, and you get to pick a number 1 through 3, and you'll bring on the next guest.
Me. Okay, how about number 2?
And that is first time here, Karen Mack. Hello, Karen.
Glen.
Now, you're the one I mentioned earlier. You are always baking cookies.
I am a cookie enthusiast, as some would say. And I've always baked. I mean, I've always sort of, that's sort of a kind of therapy, cooking, baking. I think a lot of folks are like that, which is funny because I didn't come from a home that did that. We didn't really do a lot of that, but I do. But I certainly have a connection to Apple Pie Day and all things pie as well.
Do you cook? I mean, do you bake apple pies as well?
I am not a huge pie baker, but I am on the American Pie Council.
Are you really?
Actually, yeah, I'm a pie judge. So I travel the country we haven't had a national in since before COVID, but I do nationals in Orlando and judge amateur and pro and best in show for the past 7 years.
Wow.
And here's the inside scoop on that. The one category that nobody ever wants to be assigned to is Apple, because they are so fussy. The people.
Wow.
Criteria. But I'm happy to love it. So I want all of your recipes. I want to taste all of those pies that you.
Oh my God, they're the best. I mean, here.
I like Danny.
Well, here in Piermont, Danny has entered the pie contest a couple of times, and he's never come in. He's placed, but he's never come in first place.
It's just because they're persnickety, I'll bet.
I know, but he has placed, and that's and I always say, you placed. So again, I want to ask you, superstitions. Do you have any superstitions?
I'm gonna say no, although I probably do. Like, I am a creature of habit, and if I don't do something the way that I usually do it, I get that weird feeling that you get, and certainly for with those girls, always before a show, we always kind of link pinkies before a show to kind of have a moment together, and that is if we don't do it, it's a
Now, there may be some, when you say those girls, there may be some who don't know what those girls are referring to. So you may explain.
So I'm very, very fortunate. I have just like amazing music projects in my life right now. And one of them is a vocal group that I am part of called Those Girls. And we've had some lovely, lovely press and gigs and won some awards. And it's myself and Rachel Hanser and Eve Eaton and Wendy Russell. And we have a brand new show. It's all things, it's pop, it's swing, it's lots of reinvention of songs. And we've done a variety of things. We always kind of cast a wide net. But the new show, you get a scoop, Richard Skipper, because this hasn't been announced anywhere yet.
Ooh, I love Scoop.
Brand new scoop for Richard Skipper for having me on today. We've got a brand new show that's coming in the fall. Those Girls Sing the Broadway, Volume 1. And It's all theater music, everything from Gilbert and Sullivan to Six. And so it's, a wide range. And that will open on October 2nd at the Laurie Beachman Theater.
That's incredible. And please send me the information so that I can.
Oh, I will. I absolutely. You're always so kind. You're always like promote us and always interested in what people have going on.
No, I can put it on the YouTube channel when we can get the information there. So that's really wonderful that we can get that information out there. So the person who inspires you the most.
Again, that's sort of a movable feast with me, and I couldn't be more grateful that I just have people in my life that especially over the past 2 years, I found while we were all kind of on lockdown, just kind of got to reconnect with people and really found how deeply people will go to continue to be creative and to be smart and do things that you never really thought that they could do, myself included, and have some great new partnerships. But I would say, I'm going to throw a name out to you, and I'm not sure if you know her. right now, somebody who's a huge inspiration to me and really kind of pushed me forward in new directions is a beautiful singer, jazz pianist, performer, songwriter named Alexis Cole.
Of course.
Yes.
I cannot believe I just sent her a friend request today.
Oh, did you? Well,
she's
amazing and remarkable. Not only is she a great performer, but she launched this amazing program called jazzvoice.com at the beginning of the pandemic, and has been instrumental in mobilizing resources for, all the pros that were out of work, people teaching voice lessons in their kitchen and trying to stay connected, and giving all of us someplace to kind of go and sing and improve our skill set. And it for me made all the difference in the world between, because being in an ensemble project, as soon as the shutdown came, the four of us in Those Girls scattered to four different places, and we couldn't be together. And it was, we are good friends as well as good performers together. So that was really tough. And it was hard not to get down about that, but it did give me an amazing little chunk of time that I could go back to my swing book, and I wrote a lot, and I'm getting ready to start on a new recording project, a solo project, and so there's a lot of scoops for you today.
That's great. That is so great.
And Alexis is a huge part of that. So if she watches this, Alexis, I love you, and thank you.
Alexis, if you're watching this, I want you on this show.
Oh, come on.
In this group or in a solo capacity. So Alexis, please reach out to me. So this is my check-a-day calendar. So today is also, in addition to being National Apple Pie Day, I love this, it's also Blame Someone Else Day.
That's a good
I want to ask you, has there ever been a moment in your life as a child or even as an adult where you have blamed someone else for something in your life?
Oh my God, don't we all do that? I mean, don't we do that constantly? And then an hour later we come to terms with it. But it's that's just human nature. It's World Cocktail Day too. So that leads to blaming of people, I'm sure.
So what's your cocktail of choice, and are you drinking it right now?
Oh my gosh. I like an old fashioned, although we have pictures to get done. So I'm on the vodka soda for a while on the most diet of beverages.
Okay. Well, I'm just drinking, what's
your favorite?
What am I drinking right now? This is a cranberry grape.
Okay.
That's as strong as I get.
Really? Okay. Glen, are you a boozy Susie? Really? So you're saying
I'm bottled water for today.
Yeah, so I'm drinking for 3 is what you're saying?
That's what you're drinking for 3. You're drinking for 3.
God, I wish Elliot Roth was here to help me out.
So you get to pick our next guest, and you get to pick a number 1 through 3.
I'm going to pick number 1.
Okay, number 1, and that's Bryon Sommers. And I don't. So Bryon.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So Bryon, you've been here before. Bryon, what are you drinking right now?
I am drinking the last bit of this, I hate to say it, Diet Zero Coke in this last. But I love Diet Coke, but I don't drink it often.
So you're actually drinking for 4 right now.
4.
That's it. Isn't it wonderful? And I'm not even getting drunk.
For World Cocktail Day.
Now we know who the drinker is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, Bryon, before you get started here, because I just got a private message here, I'm going to bring on a very special person for just a quick moment, because she's in London. She's having dinner with her family. This is Ava Nicole Francis. She was on the show the other night. She just performed a sold-out show at Feinstein's. She's going to be back in September, and we're all going to be there. She is the new kid on the block, putting all of us to shame. And she just arrived in London. Looking at her, looking very chic, I might add. So, Ava, you just arrived.
Thank you.
Was it this morning that you arrived?
Yeah, it was right around like midday. It's like 12 o'clock. I got here. So.
And you're at Crazy Coqs tonight or tomorrow night?
On Tuesday night.
Tuesday, and you're completely sold out.
We are sold out, but there is a live stream if everyone who's watching wants to join.
Yes. So how long are you going to be in London?
We got here today. We leave on Thursday, so just one full week.
So I know that you're only going to be here for a few moments. So can I? Will you indulge me for a moment? Before since I only have you for a moment, because I'm going to tell everybody this story, and you're going to get so sick of me, Ava, because I have become such a fan of yours. I'm going to start the Ava Nicole Francis fan club, and I am going to be the president.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm going to be singing your praises everywhere. Ava just did this show, and her sharing the stage with the original Harlettes, Bette Midler's, and just killing it. But because I still have it in my queue here, after she leaves, because she's probably sick of me showing it, she first came on the show when we did our Barbra Streisand tribute. And I'm going to show this clip of her celebrating Barbra Streisand after she says goodbye to us before we go back to Bryon. So is there anything you want to say to everybody before you head off to dinner?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on again. I love being here. I love being on this show. It's such a wonderful place. And yeah, if you guys want to live stream the show at Crazy Coqs on Tuesday, I will find a way to get the link out to you guys. Am I able to just put it in like the comments? Or I'll send it to you. Yes. Perfect.
Send it to me and I will get it out to everybody. And I will, you can put it in the comments as well. And I just want to tell you, first of all, everywhere you go, drop cards everywhere with the link to this channel, everywhere, especially at Buckingham Palace.
Okay, I got you. I'll go put them out. I'll make them and I'll put them all up front.
Say hello to your dad for me.
Ben, all of it. I will. Thank you so much.
Hey, where are your dads right now?
They're in the restaurant. We're in the Ivy.
Okay.
Oh, I love the Ivy. My favorite
restaurant.
I haven't been to London yet, so I need to get there. So as you say goodbye,
yes, this is my first time, so it's okay.
I'm going to show this little clip of you celebrating Barbra Streisand, and then we're going to get back to Bryon. Ava, I love you, and have a wonderful engagement in London. Okay.
Thank you so much. I love you too.
So here, this is Ava's little tribute to Barbara.
Hi Barbara, I heard it's your special day, and I just wanted to wish you a very happy birthday on behalf of my family and I, and all of your fans. Thus, loving you as we do, never will we ever be untrue, having love with all the trimmings. Happy birthday to
That last image of her was when she was like 7 years old. She has two dads, and I'm so jealous because they have been designing these costumes for her since she was 3 years old. So when she was 3 years old, you saw the costume. She would go out dressed as Barbra Streisand. Now, I tried to at 3, but it didn't work in Conway, South Carolina. I needed two dads to do it. So, Bryon, getting back to you for a moment, let's first of all start. Who is the person who inspires you the most?
Well, I'm afraid that I'm also a copycat. You, Richard, you.
Oh, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, because you always think about things that wouldn't occur to me myself, and say, "Oh my gosh, well, he's right." Or you'll tell me the word of the day, and I say, "Yeah, I should be more like that," or "I wish so and so was more like that, more accepting, or more persevering, or just stick to it and go forward and get through it." What else can we do? It's not an easy time, so we
No,
gotta be that way.
you gotta get through it.
But,
Yeah,
but Richard, can I digress a minute?
absolutely.
Okay, good. Because when you started talking about what was at the top of the show, and I thought it was so interesting about Betsy Palmer, you and I had a mutual friend named Charles Walrich. Remember
Oh,
Charles?
of course. How could I forget him?
Yeah. Charles was such a sweetheart and such a dear guy. And it's been, gosh, what, 15 years now or something like that, maybe a little more. But Charles knew Betsy Palmer. And he had acting classes with Betsy Palmer. They did scenes together. And so when Charles unfortunately passed away, his sister told me, she says, "Look," she says, "we can't take all this stuff back to Chicago." She says, "Is there anything that you would like?" And there are a couple little, objet d'art, things like that. But then there was this other thing, and you will love this. Betsy Palmer created a birthday card for Charles. And I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. Can you see the name on the
Oh
bottom?
my God! Wow.
Is that so cool?
That's cool.
Wow.
And then on the back, it's written, "There is a vitality, a life force, a quickening that is translated through you into action." It sounds like something you would say, Richard. "And because there is only one of you in all time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and will be lost. The world will not have it." So anyway, it goes on to talk about being an artist and everything. I don't know if you can see it.
Now,
Anyway.
Charles, he was an Aquarian. His birthday was the day before Carol Channing's, January 30th, wasn't it?
That's right, January 30. And this was done in 2002. This was done in 2002.
Yeah, and he was also a dancer. He danced with Judy Garland.
That's right. Opening night of Madison Square Garden. And Sid Luft did not get the costumes. He didn't pay for them, so they didn't have costumes. So all the male dancers had to dance in their leotards.
That's right. And ticket prices went up.
Yeah, maybe so, who knows? They had to do a quick change right off the side of the stage. Maybe they charged extra.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, we've got one more person waiting in the wings, and so we're going to bring her on right now, and that is we never leave a stone unturned, and that's Deborah Stone. So hello, Deborah Stone.
Hi, honey.
Hello. So good to see you all.
It's good to see you. So we'll start, first of all, Superstitions. It's Friday the 13th. Do you have a Betsy Palmer story?
Oh, no, I do not have a Betsy Palmer story. I feel like I'm lacking in some way. As far as superstitions, I was thinking about this because I said, oh my God, they're going to ask me this. I don't have superstitions that I know of. I think being a performer, obviously, we do certain things like Karen said, and I would feel remiss if I didn't do certain things, especially when I was a dancer. I knew that if I didn't get in there and just do certain calming things, I was going to be a mess on stage. Oh, yes, superstition. Good rehearsal means a crappy performance. Good dress rehearsal.
Get rid of that thought. Get rid of that thought, Deborah.
I know. No, as a dancer, it's like, oh God, this was a perfect dress rehearsal. I'm screwed. Basically, when I get out on stage, I'm going to fall down. So that because you let your guard down. So I don't know if that's a superstition. No, but I really do want to address Apple Pie Day. When I was a little girl, my mother had no middle name. Her first name was Fanya. So she was Fanya Stone. And I, as a little girl, gave her the middle name of Apple Pie.
Good for you.
I swear, because she made wonderful apple pie. And I said, you need a middle name. It's going to be Apple Pie. So who knew?
Well, the next time you're over, remind me so the day, all of you, we've got to come over because this is also for the whole month. This is National Barbecue Month. And And Danny, and we love to have our barbecues here. And I will say this, and for anyone who's out there, and I can say this for everybody who's out there, if you knew Peggy Eason, and a lot of us did know Peggy Eason, July 10th is Peggy's birthday. I'm not going to say it is Peggy's birthday. And we are going to celebrate her at the church across the street from where we live. And I've already been speaking with the minister. I said, I don't want this to be a funeral. I want it to be a celebration of our life. And then after the service, we're going to have an old-fashioned barbecue. And we're going to have hot dogs and hamburgers and all the things that Peggy loved. And we're just going to celebrate her because Peggy lived for that. And we're just going to have a big celebration. So I hope if you're all around that you can all be here July 10th. Put it on your calendar, and I'll make sure that Danny has apple pie ready for everybody here. So,
by the way, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
It's not just you. It's not just you.
The ladies step up.
So I want to talk about some of these holidays today. And Glenn, I'm going to go with you. National Blame It on Someone Else Day. Have you ever blamed someone else for anything?
Oh, sure. I mean, like was said earlier, doesn't everybody? The latest though, I can't think of anything right off the bat. Who have I blamed for something? Oh, okay. I just recently finished doing. God, I hope she's not watching. She's probably not watching. I sent her the notice, but she's probably not. She probably wouldn't know how to get on. Is one of those. Anyway, a friend of mine was supposed to come see me in the show that I just recently finished doing, which was The Mousetrap here in Baltimore, and a friend of mine did not go, and I blame it on her husband because. It's understandable, actually. His mom just recently passed away. So
did she show up?
And it was like 2 weeks later, and things are gone with and all that. And she certainly wanted to go see my show. She wanted to come see the show. And I blame it on him, the fact that she never got the chance to see it because she's that way.
Okay. Well, Karen's already answered this question. So, Bryon, I'll go to you. Have you ever blamed someone else for something that you?
Oh, yes. I do it every day. It's not necessarily PC, but politically correct. But certain things that are happening in the world and everything. I mean, somebody's causing these things to happen, or they laid the foundation for them to happen. So, that's where I'm at. And, then there are friends, but, friends are your friends and you'll be friends with them forever. And, but, some of these people, they cause mayhem for everybody.
Right. Well, before I started losing the weight, every time I tried to put on my pants or something, I'd say to Danny, did you put these in the wash again? Everything's shrieking. And Danny's going, I didn't wash those pants. I blamed him for everything. These are shrinking on me. So what about you, Deborah?
I can't think of it. I'm sure I must have because I'm a human being. So maybe when I was little, but I can't think of I'm too busy feeling guilty about doing everything on my own. I mean, I don't it must have been me. What did I do this time? Which is a whole other ball of wax and a whole other conversation. I really can't think of any time when I said, oh, it wasn't me. It was it was him or my evil twin. No, I can't think of it. If I do, I'll let you know. But right now, I can't.
So today, believe it or not, is also called Fantastic Friday. Fantastic. Karen, you know all this. How do you know all this, Karen?
Because I like you, love to celebrate things. I love having, I think it's crazy and fun how random some of these things are, especially the Hallmark ones. And I just, and for years when Michael Holland and I were running Gas Hole and Hole-O-Matic, and even back to my solo shows, this was always something that I thought was like a fun thing, and still do it on our in our residency down at Pangea. All of our things are built around. There's a million things, and with all of the I don't know, with everything to complain about, isn't it nice to have something funny or something ridiculous or something that like heartfelt and interesting to just say, hey, that's a good thing. Let's thumbs up for a good thing today.
Well, I'm going to play this later for Danny because he thinks that I'm crazy. He's got lots of reason to, because he'll call and say, so what are we having for dinner tonight? And I'll say, well, today's National Macaroni and Cheese Day.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, love that. Love that.
I mean, and now because it's National Barbecue Month, I said, why don't we do something on the grill tonight? Or, and I did say, because it's National Apple Pie Day. And even though I'm dieting, I know portion control now better than ever. I said, you got to make an apple pie tonight. So he's going to do that when he gets home tonight. So, but we will build our dinner plans and things now around these special days. We do that. So it makes life interesting. No, we do. It does make it easy when I go out to dinner. It makes it easy for me to decide what I'm going to order on the menu. So I'm glad that I'm not the only one who does that. So it is Fantastic Friday, which means that we celebrate sharks. And yes, have you ever had a shark encounter, Karen?
Oh, no. No, that would not happen for me.
Okay. Yes. What about you, Glenn?
Nope.
Bryon?
Not in the real sense of the real word, but I feel like I've dealt with some sharks before.
I was going to say I was sued, so I've been.
I'm with you, Richard. I'm with you.
I've been in this business long enough. I've dealt with.
Well, okay, all right then.
Yes, Deborah.
Yes, actually, believe it or not, I myself did not encounter said creature, but years ago, up on the island up in Maine that we go to, when I was a teenager, I think, there was a buzz going around. Shark feed up at Green's Island. Some local fella, a shark had reared its head in one of the coves, and some guy just shot it. I mean, I don't know why, because they're fishermen, so they figure it'd shoot it. So there was this shark hauled up. It sounds gross, I know, but then they brought it to Green's Island, which was the next island over, and it was very pagan. It was like this huge bonfire, and there were these it's gross slabs of shark steak, and I went just because one does that when you're a teenager. So that was my shark encounter. I felt bad for the creature.
I grew up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and never ever did I see a shark, except for at Ripley's aquarium in Myrtle Beach, which was fun to see them there. So today is also going along. It's cough drop day. So and we can play with this a little bit. Glen, Charlo, what is your cough drop of choice?
Cherry.
But do you have a brand that you would go for?
Oh, well.
Matter. And if they're listening, this is your opportunity to be a sponsor.
And we can actually say the brand.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, my favorite has always been Luden's cherry cough drops.
Yeah.
They are the best. Even if you have a horrible cough or choking, God forbid, whatever, nothing does it except the Luden's cherry cough drop. There's nothing else like it.
Mm-hmm.
Luden's. No.
Karen and Bryon, you're both agreeing with that?
I have many, I remember when I was a kid, I would just eat them by the bottle. I didn't have to have a sore throat or a cough or anything. I just liked them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that says about my
They were more like a candy.
They were sort of like it. I'm a Ricola girl.
Me too.
That's kind of, the way to go for me now.
And Deborah?
Trader Joe's, they make a wonderful cranberry something.
Nice.
We swear by them here.
Yes.
Ricolas are also good.
Ricola. Okay. It is also, and I can say this, it's Frog Jumping Day. And we have, thanks to being married to a landscape architect, and Deborah and Glen and Bryon know this. Karen, you've got to come to our house.
I have to come out. I'm so sorry that I haven't come yet, but I will, I promise.
Yes, we have a nice little koi pond in our backyard. And we have a frog that is taken a residence here. And this frog is large, voluptuous frog. When I go out and it jumps in the pond and it makes this huge splash, that's it every morning when I walk out. I love that sound it makes when it jumps in. So absolutely, we have a jumping frog in our backyard.
That's cool.
Anything anyone wants to add to that?
Well, Mark Twain wrote a story,
Yes.
Jumping Frog of Calabasas County or something like that. But other than that, no.
Okay.
That's actually Calabasas County has their frog jumping contest that happens in May. That's actually happening the weekend that my next gig downtown is that weekend. I think it's the 20th to the 22nd. So it's still an event.
I'm marking my calendar right now.
You should. You should.
Now, and I'm going to admit, now this next item that I'm going to bring up, and it's something that I actually am going to say I do like it, and it's National Fruit Cocktail Day.
Sure.
Do you all like fruit cocktail?
Yeah. But I like the light syrup. The light syrup, not the sugary sweet.
That's right. That's right. It has to be the light syrup.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard, I have something to add.
Yes.
About the cough drops.
Yes.
My favorite cough drops. I've got them right here. And because of Peggy Eason, I got turned on to these cough drops. You know what they are?
Is it Fisherman's Friend?
How'd you know?
Because the wrapper. Yeah. If the wrapper makes a very specific sound.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's great.
They're really good.
It's International Hummus Day.
Oh, I love hummus. I just had some earlier.
And you said no. You're not a hummus fan?
Nope.
I love hummus.
I love hummus.
Do you have a particular brand of hummus or a particular way that you like your hummus?
Who, me?
Me?
Any of you?
I get the one at Trader Joe's, the Mediterranean.
I get the one at Trader Joe's, their hummus dip, garlic dip. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm. I know that one.
Okay, maybe you can turn me on to hummus. What is it made of? What is in it?
It's chickpea.
Chickpeas and olive oil.
Chickpea paste, garlic, it's yum.
And tahini.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe I knew that. That's why.
So if anyone out there is watching,
I don't like the plain ones so much. But I like the roasted red pepper or spicy or those ones.
The red pepper, roasted red pepper is my favorite.
Yeah. I'm not a chicken.
I like that one.
So that blows it right there.
Yeah, there's nothing for you, Glen. You'll just have to have Fisherman Friend and like it.
Yeah. Now, this is one that surprises me at this time of year. It's National Leprechaun Day.
Yes, my people.
Yeah.
Your
kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's in May. I don't know. They're just we were just getting back around to things after.
But I love Darby O'Gillis and the Little People, and I also, Kathleen Nolan as the wood nymph in Bewitched. So I think of her, on National Leprechaun Day. And I'm going to be seeing her this summer, so I'm excited about that.
There's a very fun little museum in Dublin that's the Leprechaun Museum that has a lot of folklore, and it's just it's completely cheesy, but it's fun.
So it's Shades Day. Do you all have your shades nearby?
No, but I can tell you that my last encounter with a leprechaun was my last bowl of Lucky
Charms.
They're magically delicious.
Now, they're really bad for you too.
I will tell you this: I have never in my life had Lucky Charms.
Me neither.
Oh my God, you're missing.
Oh, we're having them.
Really?
When I come out, we're having them. I'll make them into something that you'll like.
But I will say this: I happen to be friends with one of the original voices for the Leprechaun.
Really?
You know who it is?
Who?
Jason Graw.
Oh, wow.
I love Jason Graw.
Wow.
Never knew that.
We love Jason Graw. Yes, I hope, Jason, if you're out there watching, we love Jason Graw. It's Shades Day. We mentioned that. Skeptics Day. Is there anything that you are a skeptic about? Anything in the news that's happened that you're skeptical about?
Like everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite headline was in World Weekly News. Remember the World Weekly News? Now, Karen, I want to ask you with Gas Hole.
Oh,
which I loved. Did you guys ever do headlines for World Weekly
oh,
News?
it's always fodder, always.
Did you have a favorite headline?
I like the whole Bat Boy thing. I think anything that had anything to do with Bat Boy, because after the discovery of Bat Boy, they just kept whenever it was a slow week, they would just roll out like, Bat Boy working at Sonic, Bat Boy buys roller skate. Like there was always like something, death in the Everglades, Bat Boy suspected. It was always like he just kept coming back up. So that was my favorite chain.
My favorite headline, which I remember, was "Woman gives birth to Siamese twins, both born pregnant."
I thought that was like the National Enquirer stuff.
No, it was.
Sounds like more one of those
World
headlines.
Weekly News is like just low.
Yes.
It's the worst. It's like lower.
They don't even care. They really like. They don't even. The more outlandish, the better.
Well, Karen, what was this gas hole thing? I'm not familiar with that. Can you shoot that to me at some point?
Sure, talk about
Oh,
that.
you guys are so nice. So for probably close to 15 years of my career, I had the great good fortune to be coupled up in a vocal duo with Michael Holland, and he and I had this amazing, ridiculous, crazy retro pop a series of shows called Gas Hole, and it was only called Gas Hole because we got asked by Phil Jeffrey Bond, who is now doing producing theater and doing all kinds of stuff. But he's always sort of he used to book the Beachmen, and he was a friend of ours, and he worked had this theater out in Columbus, Indiana, and they needed a 70s show, and Michael and I were working together and making music together and doing a lot of things. And Phil asked me, do we have a 70s show? And I thought, you know what? In the spirit of Richard Skipper, say yes. Just say yes. Say yes and figure it out. If it's something that you really want, and it's not, you're not handing somebody a bill of goods. So we put together an evening of 70s stuff, and we took it out to Columbus, and we didn't know what to call it. We couldn't think of anything. And the 70s were like such a ridiculous decade that I don't know. We were someplace, and a friend of Michael's who's a gender illusionist, and somebody said, "Oh my God, she's such a gas hole," and we thought it was the funniest word that we'd ever heard. And Michael said that if we don't call it gas hole, I'm not doing it. I won't go. I simply won't go. I won't get on the plane. I won't go. What did I care? We thought one show. We're doing one show. What's the harm? So we called it Gas Hole, and then it ran for 14 years because. How things are.
Be
We
careful
were
what
a
you do.
weekly show. We were at Don't Tell. We were everywhere. We like mamas and we
two-pack.
opened and closed more clubs. Richard knows, right?
We went. I saw it. I loved that show so much.
God bless you. You were a repeat offender, and we were so grateful for you. And you gave us a lot of nice opportunities. And if it weren't for all of those years in making medleys and arrangements, and Jenny, if I were to double back, I mean, Michael's an incredible inspiration to me because he's always been just so focused and so generous on taking your talent and really challenging yourself to be the best that you can be, whatever that is. Be the best of it. So it was good. I don't know, maybe we'll bring it back one day. But
I won tickets to Little Night Music.
You did, yeah.
And I'll share this story. I won tickets, and Danny was not able to go. And this was the revival, to see Angela Lansbury on stage and Bernadette Peters. And Bernadette Peters, it was just such an incredible production. And Danny wasn't available, so I asked Dana Lorge to go with me.
Oh, I bet that was nice.
Dana was bored out of her mind.
No way!
And Dana used to have a clock purse. Do you remember the clock purse?
I do.
So we were seated in our seats, and she had this clock purse, and she had these acrylic nails. And she's doing the nails like this on the purse, and to the consternation of everybody around us. And I thought I was going to die because, first of all, I was in heaven. I mean, that's one of my favorite scores. And she's doing like this. She is. It's not her music. It's not what she likes. Anything. So she was just going out of her mind to get out of there. And I was just like, I was so excited to be there. And I thought she would love it, but she was just not, she was fit to be tied. So that was, and I always will remember you guys winning those tickets.
Well, at least it was a free ticket.
It was a free ticket, so that was good. It's Top Gun Day. So Tom Cruise fans, any of you?
New movie's coming out too.
Yes, the new movie is coming out.
That trailer. All on your check a day?
Yes.
Wow. My regular national whatever it is day doesn't have half of these things.
You got to get the check a day calendar. It's much more comprehensive.
Wow.
Or just call us in the morning, Glenn.
Yes.
Okay.
Reach out to Richard and I.
It's Tulip Day.
Oh, I love a tulip.
Yes.
Love tulips. Love tulips.
Love tulips.
I love tulips. And I worked once with Tiny Tim. I appeared with him. And you've already mentioned this, Karen. It's also World Cocktail Day. We've already gone through that. So, Karen, with all that I've mentioned, because that's the whole list that I have on the calendar, did I leave anything off?
Well, it's Stevie Wonder's birthday.
Stevie Wonder's birthday.
And that is certainly significant. And this is a good month for birthdays, but it's I have to say, I think that there are so many performers out there that are influenced by him, by his story, by his music. Certainly in those girls, Rachel is a huge fan and has great Stevie Wonder stories of sightings and things. And we so that's the only thing that I think is kind of notable for today.
Richard, I told you once, I think, that I drove Stevie Wonder to the airport in Rhode Island. And I met with him. I met him because we were entertaining in a hotel in Kingston, Rhode Island, which is the home of University of Rhode Island, called URI. And Stevie Wonder was just spending the night there, and they brought him in, like this. And he sent word to us that he wanted to meet the band after we finished our gig. It was like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. But, of course, we were very excited to hear that. And then we went to his room, and he says, why don't we make some music together? So we came back to the bar. And of course, we were up like all night, and Stevie Wonder taught me "All Is Fair in Love."
Oh my God!
Love is a game. Such a memorable night. And in the Kingston, Rhode Island, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, I know it.
He said, "Do you have a car here?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Because we need to get to the airport in Warwick. Warwick is where the big airport is, south of Providence." So I drove Stevie Wonder at like 5:30 in the morning, he and his assistant, in my then little tiny two-door coupe Capri, which was like 1971, I think that car was. And that's, it was really neat meeting Stevie Wonder. Back then he had a publishing company called Black Bull. I wonder if he still has Black Bull Publishing, because that was the name of his publishing company back then. But a nice guy, really nice guy, fun, enormously talented.
Oh my God, what a great
so I
memory.
got to play for Stevie Wonder. You are the sunshine of my life.
Oh my God. I would love to have you on this.
It's also Stephen Colbert's birthday today.
Yes.
It's also B. Arthur's birthday.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, she was great. I worked with her kind of one time. I was doing a thing at St. John the Divine, and B. Arthur, it was a thing for World AIDS Day. And Richard, you might remember, I don't know if you remember that song I wrote, we must love today, we must find a better way, because too many are already gone. Yeah. Anyway, I wrote that with Tim, I forget Tim's last name, unfortunately. Anyway, he died from AIDS. But anyway, B. Arthur was the narrator, the MC for the event. So she was nice.
Wow. Well, we're going to give away. I've got a little cabaret package. I am giving away a couple of things. I put together. I'm downsizing. As a matter of fact, I'm selling my. I've got 4 of Carol Channing's dresses that are actually being shipped out tomorrow. after a long time, of which I'm ready to let go. And but I've Danny and I've probably have over 500 CDs of cabaret shows, Broadway shows. So I've taken 4 CDs that I put together in a little package, plus a Richard Skipper Celebrates mug. So someone's going to get this little package that I put together.
Very nice.
The CDs are used. I'm going to, but they are in pristine condition because they have not been used in a long, long time. I listened to them to make sure that they were great before I'm sending them out. So someone's going to get this little Richard Skipper Celebrates collection that I am going to be sending out. So I've pulled together 7 questions in my homage to James Lipton inside the Actors Studio. Why 7? Because in numerology, today is a 7 day. So anyway, I'm going to start with you, Glen. And the question is, and I think I know the answer to this already. I think I do. Do you practice gratitude? And if so, name 7 things that you are grateful for today.
Oh, wow. I do, for the most part, I guess, practice gratitude. I don't know if I can name 7, but I am grateful for one thing. I spoke to you about it earlier, that I was kind of worried that I would be like really backlogged in designing the following week's overlays for you. And I'm kind of like relieved that there aren't any, and that I'm not going to be backed up because you're sort of taking a little vacation next week, or don't have very many to do. So I'm grateful that I'm not backlogged that way. Wow. Anything else I'm grateful for? I'm grateful for finishing things that I needed to do. Other than that, nothing else really.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll come to you. Karen, as we wrap this week up, what motivated you this week?
What motivated me this week? Well, I have to say, I am driven by deadlines. So as I get closer to having things that are, the clock is ticking down, then that always sort of lights a fire. And so I had some writing projects this week, and I have a show on May 20th, and learning a bunch of new stuff for that. And so I think that's probably what did the most to kind of goose me forward this week.
Okay. Bryon, I'm pulling, Deborah and I are in a book group together, and we are studying Atlas of the Heart. And one of the words that she refers to is reverence. So going through this past week, when you think of the word reverence, a moment or things or moments in which reverence resonated with you.
Oh my gosh. Well, today, just looking at the news, and every day for the past few months, you have to admire the tenacity of the people who are fighting for their own freedom in the Ukraine. And so I have great reverence for these soldiers and the civilians who are defending their country and just trying to get back to a normal life in spite of what they're faced with on a daily basis.
Well, I agree with you on that. And for all of us that are fighting for our freedoms in this country, because pay attention, folks, pay attention. So, Deborah, perseverance. What is your definition of perseverance?
I'm just keeping on. Don't let the little devil on your left shoulder get you. Just have faith that you can do what you need to do and stick to it.
Absolutely. Glen, what was the quickest friendship that you feel that you've ever made?
Quickest friendship. For anybody, with anyone?
Anybody.
Oh, there was a woman just the other day. As you know, I'm president of my neighborhood association here in my community. And just the other day, a woman came to me or wrote to me wanting to become a member of the association. And then she told me what she did. She's a florist and she does all these neat things. And I started talking to her about our vice president wanting to pick a spot just up the street from me. There's a corner that's like it's on school property, but there's no schools nearby that actually use it. The two schools that are right nearby it's far enough away that we want this space to be a community space. And she was talking to me about all this stuff, and she paid her dues with me. We met, and I told her about that space, and she wants to beautify it with flowers and everything. And we became very quick friends just because, she told me what she did. I told her what I do. And it was a quickie friendship. And it was just like 2 days ago.
That's great. I wouldn't use the word quickie when you refer to that friendship. What
I say?
Quickie. Quickie. Yes. Okay. Karen, when did you have the weakest self-confidence, and how did you get through it?
Wow. You know what? That's a tough question, because if I am to be honest, and you wouldn't think it because most people would go back to a very young place, but for me, really the past year to 2 years has been a challenge. I have definitely struggled by trying to face making some changes, like good changes, but all change is hard. And I think probably within the past like 6 to 7 months, I think I've had the most nights where I've kind of sat up and thought, what am I doing? Like what path, where is any of this going to end up? And maybe I'm just kidding myself about all kinds of different things. So yeah, probably more recent than people might have guessed.
Wow. And Bryon, what actions did you take this week on your career?
In that regard, gosh, that's a hard one. My career. I would say that, I started writing a new bio because I felt like I needed to update it and include more recent events rather than just doing the same old send out that lists some really nice things, but I need to make it more up to date.
Okay. And we're going to give away a prize right now. And here it is, Perseverance. And all of you, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, don't go anywhere for a minute. Oh, our winner, thank you so much. Please, I've got a tickle here. Please, 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 please send me a special message after the show, so I will get in touch with you and send you my little Richard Skipper cabaret package. Don't go anywhere for a moment. I want to say my final words, and then I'm going to give each of you a chance to say the final words. I will start with you after I finish, Glen, and then you will pick the next person, and then you will pick the next person, and so on. And then when the final person is on here, when you say goodbye, the final credits will roll, so don't worry about how do I end this thing. So that's how it's going to end. So the word for today, everyone, is perseverance. And if there's anything that I know about, it's perseverance, because I just keep going. I keep going no matter what. And anyone that's here will tell you that about me, because I have been knocked down more times than you can think about. When someone says, I've got a dear friend, all of us are friends with Russ Woolley. And Russ Woolley has taught me one thing in life, and that is rejection is God's protection. When that door closes, go through that door. And so I just keep my blinders on, I stay in my lane, and I keep moving forward. Yesterday, I had the good fortune of being interviewed by a woman in Spain. And she was talking, and we were talking about the entertainment industry. And she was asking about how to map out a career. And I said, it's like sitting down at a dinner and you see this great spread put out in front of you. You're obviously not going to try to gorge the entire meal in one swoop, or otherwise you're going to walk away with a tummy ache. So what you do is you start with an appetizer, and then you go to the next course, and then the next course. And a very good host or hostess will spread things out. And that's life, essentially. If you take it one day at a time and you think about, what can I do today that's going to get me to the next step and the next step and the next step? And that's what perseverance is about for me. And I think about what each of us can do for the next 24 hours. What can I do today that's going to make me at least 1% better than I was the day before? Don't think about what that person's doing or what that person's doing. And I also think that that's the secret to a better planet. If all of us think about what our own things are that we can do to make the world a better place, it will become a better place. I do thank you all for taking the time to be here. As always, please, please, please leave a comment on YouTube, even if you've done so here. Pay attention, my analytics are going up, and that's helping because of all of you leaving comments, and it's showing. I am getting bites from potential sponsors, and it's because they are seeing your comments. So please, please, please keep the comments, keep hitting the like button, and share these programs. That helps me tremendously, more than you know. I also end every show by telling everyone to go out and do something nice for somebody else without expecting anything in return. Go to your Facebook friends list and reach out to the 7th. It's a 7-day. Reach out to the 7th friend on that list and reach out with a phone call, not an email message, not a private inbox message, but a phone call, and let that person know what they mean to you. Because as our dear friend Sean Moniger says, we're all in this together, but we're not in the same boat. And as I always say, you all can join me on this. If you're going to be out in a boat, make sure you bring a skipper along. So I'm going to leave the screen, and Glenn, it's your turn to have your final word. And thanks again, everyone, for being here.
Thank you, Richard.
Bye, Richard.
Sometimes I think Richard and I are the same person. I don't know. Sometimes we have the same minds. We think alike on a lot of things. I forgot, though, one person also that I think about every day, and I'm thankful for having in my life, is my friend Mike Broad. I believe he is watching and listening, watching. I think about him a lot, and something that he's taught me is we all tend to have a little mush mouth every now and then, say certain words that we don't like to. I can tell you that my friend Michael, I have never heard him say a nasty word about anyone. I've never heard a nasty word come out of his mouth, and it's the truth. Again, something like Richard said is you take things one day at a time. I'm thankful for having Richard in my life. I'm thankful for having Michael in my life. They're the best of me, and I like to think that I can have the best qualities of them to make up myself. And I think that's about it. So okay, eeny meeny miny mo. Okay, Karen.
Oh, okay. First of all, this has been so fun to get to spend this time, not just with everybody that's watching, but with Deborah and Bryon and Glen. Like, it's been lovely. So Richard, again, thank you for a lovely opportunity. I think that I don't know that it's appropriate or not appropriate. I think in the terms of perseverance, I think I definitely second Richard by saying, while you're out there slogging it out, being, doing the things that you want to do that move you forward, be kind to yourselves, do nice things for yourself, find ways to have joy, to have fun. to reach out to people that you care about and spend time with them as you can, and know that we're all kind of inching back into being re-socialized after a long time, and be patient and kind to yourself. And if you're here anywhere in the tri-state area and you are feeling like you want to go out and have a good time, I would be remiss. I'm very, very grateful for my music partner, Elliot Roth. He and I have a monthly residency at Pangea. We're there on May 20th, which is a Friday, at 8:30. And the one after that is June 6th, which is a Monday at 8:30. 2 sets, no cover, no minimum. So an easy way to treat yourself to a nice night out. And the last thing I will say, quickly, a shout out to my friend Charles West, who had this to say about perseverance. And it is that real self-care can't be bought. It isn't just spa days and facials. Real self-care is a series of tough decisions. The decision to be more disciplined, to address your recurring toxic thoughts, to prioritize your mental health, and to put your happiness over your history. So everybody out there, have an amazing week, and challenge yourself to maybe do just even a little bit of that and see how much better you feel. And next, I pick Deborah Stone.
Wow, you're a hard act. She's a hard act to follow. What she said, I'll just say. No, first of all, I was thrilled to hear that she's doing a residency at Pangea. I don't know that I knew that, but I'm going to definitely show up. I'm also going to be at Pangea doing a brand new show in June 16th and June 28th. So just plugging that there. It's been a lovely, lovely opportunity to be on the screen with good friends like Bryon and Richard, and now Karen, and now Glen. I always get so much out of being part of this group. And I just told Richard earlier that I had started to be aware of being grateful for certain things, and it has helped my outlook. So find those things that you're grateful for. Simple things like a roof over your head. The fact that you have 2 good legs to walk on. If you see somebody that I did today that didn't have those, and I go, I'm really thankful I have 2 legs that I can use. So it comes down to the basics sometimes that we all too often forget about or neglect. Just be grateful for what you have and go for the things that you want. I'll leave you with that.
Oh my God, it comes down to me after they've said all the good stuff. Anyway, I think that, what I will leave you with is to always be considerate of others and caring of other people's situations, that even though at times your situation seems so awful or bad, or maybe you're not completely happy, there are many other people that are in a worse situation than you. So be kind and loving, giving if you can, and look forward to maybe helping somebody in the near future that maybe needs a shoulder to lean on, or they need somebody to listen to them and their problems. I certainly appreciate all of you that listen to mine. Anyway, have a great weekend. Richard, thank you. It was so good being with friends that I know well and being here with you today. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.